What's up? My hair's sticking out. It's doing its own thing. So we're just going to wait a few minutes before I start. I hope everyone is doing well this evening. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Tuesday. This is like my first live. Yay! Thank you! I'm excited to do this cleanse. Yeah. I've been meaning to do a cleanse for a while, but I just figured spring was the perfect time, so we're going to go with that. I should have grabbed my water, and I didn't. I'm trying to think. Where did I put my bottle? All right. This is going to be recorded, right? Yeah, this records. So we're going to record because we're going to start no matter what. People can always log back in and check it and watch it. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, thank you. And so just a little history about me. My name is Liz, and I am a longtime servant of the great good of humanity, and not by it is actually by an accident, but it's no longer an accident that I'm on this journey. I fell at work and I ended up with a herniated disc, which led me to yoga, and that led me to Ayurveda. And when I learned about Ayurveda, a lot of who I am made sense to me, finally, and I fell in love with it. It made the picture completely clear as far as how to manage being in this world and navigating what and how and when, and a flow and creating a flow. So it was really, it was like I had to experience it for myself, and I think that's the beauty of Ayurveda, that you have to be your own guinea pig in a sense, because it is a science. So Ayurveda is a 5,000-year-old healing science out of India, and the foundation of it is prevention. It's a prevention-based medicinal system, healing modality, and it is centered around your digestion. And we believe that the stronger your digestion, the better your immune system, the healthier you are overall. And digestion is not only of what we eat, but also what we see and hear and touch and taste and smell. Everything that has to do with our senses. The basis of Ayurveda is founded on the elements, which are ether or space, air, fire, water, and earth. There's 5. And the principle is that everything in matter is made up of the 5 elements, including ourselves. And we as humans have 1 or 2 primary elements that stand out as far as qualities within ourselves. We have all 5 elements. Of course, we have all 5 to make up our human matter and body and form, but there's 1 or 2 that are predominant within our body that really leads and functions within us. And that is what we work with. So we get to know the quality that is predominant in our body, the element that is predominant in our body, and then we work on those qualities of that element. For example, fire is hot and dry. So to combat those elements, or to pacify those elements, we would use wet right? I mean, cold or cooling to combat the hot, and then maybe oily to combat the dry. And it's all about balancing them. I don't want to say combat, I want to say balance. It's about balancing the qualities. You have to balance that within yourself. So it's a I was going to say it's a balancing game. It is kind of a game, but it's an experience. It's a balancing experience, and it's about getting to know who you are as a person here in this matter and how you function within the matter that you're in. Um, so one of the things that happens is the doshas are held in a specific part of the body. The chest and the upper parts house the water and the earth elements. The stomach and the digestive area house the fire and the water, which is the pitta. Oh, and this is the kapha. Then we have pitta. And then below that is the air and the space element, which is the vata. And so those never change. It is always consistent. So that is how the body is broken down as far as the doshas go. And then, of course, the elements are within those doshas. What happens is that as we live our daily lives, many things become out of place and create disorder within the bodies and the doshas. So the best way I can explain it is imagine that there's a party going on, and the kapha dosha is in this corner over here, and it comes right. This is the kapha dosha area, and then this is the pitta area, and then this is the vata area. In the party, like in the house or whatever, there's different rooms, and that's the kapha room, that's the pitta, and this is the vata. So people start showing up to the party, and they're like, knock, 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 hello, I'm a kapha, and they're like, okay, go into this room. Hello, knock, knock, I'm a vata, and they're like, okay, go into this room. Knock, knock, hello, I'm a pitta, okay, go up in this room. And then everybody starts coming to the party, right? And every dosha goes to its respective room until it gets full. And then kapha's like, I'm full, I need to close the door. Let's say kapha fills up with kapha and it hasn't been moved through the body or whatever. They close the door at the party, and here comes another person, because they're always coming. This party is 24/7, it's always going on. There's a party going on in your cells, in your body. So kapha comes to the door, and kapha's like, hey, what's up? And kapha's like, oh, they say, oh yeah, kapha, come over here. So kapha comes over here and sees the door that is closed, and kapha's like, why? Well, I came to party, so I'm not leaving, so I'm going to come over here. So then kapha starts making its way into the pitta area, because this is closed, so it starts moving, and maybe it makes its way to the vata area. So then you have elements that are not where they're supposed to be and out of alignment. And that is what actually starts to create disorder and dis-ease, because we don't have a good circular rotation of incoming and outgoing. Okay? I always ask people about their bowel movements. Are they having them? How consistently? And people are really surprised when I say that we should be having one bowel movement a month or more. A month. Hello. 1 BM a day or more. Because we eat more than one time a day. Unless you eat one time a day, then that's great. That's good input, and then that's great output. It's balanced. But you really want to be aware of that, because if it's coming in, it has to come out. Otherwise, that's what occurs. And so excess doshas in other areas of the body, yes, BM's rule, kapha love. So as the doshas begin to go to the other areas, it begins to create what is called ama, AMA, and those are toxins in the body. And so those toxins, if we're not removing them or, exiting them from our bodies, they stay in there and they create a lot of dis-ease and disorder in the body. And so in Ayurveda, when somebody is ill or debilitated, or for young children as well, or in trying to rejuvenate and heal someone, they're fed what's called Kichari, which is a super nutrient and complete and gentle meal that consists of moong dal, which is green split lentils, and then also basmati rice. And you make this, and it's kind of like I always like to say, like, it's like a porridge. You can make a porridge with it, but you make it with the specific spices and herbs for the dosha body. And again, we're working with the qualities that we're trying to balance. And so when we do this cleanse, everyone who joins the cleanse is gonna, or you might already know what your dosha type is, and so you're gonna be able to just use the spices that are good for that. I'll be giving all this information out in the cleanse. And you can Google all this stuff too. Just let me tell you right now. You don't have to, you could Google all this too. But in the cleanse, when you eat the Kichari, it's going to be made specifically for your dosha type. So if you're a Pitta, then it's going to be probably not really spiced at all. It's going to be very bland to pacify and cool your insides. If you're a Vata, yes, you can. Yes, Kichari. Yes, you can customize Kichari to fit your dosha. On top of the spices, not only that, but you can also add specific vegetables that are good to pacify your dosha as well. That's another way to use this as a healing modality. So Vata people will use warming, spicy spices. And then Kapha, we're cold all the time, so we're the spicy people. Like, we just need to have a spicy life, like, all day long, just hot mamas and hot daddies, and all 24/7, because that's the way. Hey, Nova, that's us. We're able to take. Can you hear my dog just tearing apart my slipper in the background? Just lovely. He tore apart the last one, so I'm not bothered. But I was bothered with the first one, but this one is all right. So anyway, yes, kaphas, we need to spice it up. We can have all of the spices. In fact, we should. We should be consuming, like, pepper as often as possible, the spices, the cinnamons, the chili flakes, the all of that. So that is how you can customize Kichari for this cleanse. And so this is basically what they call, and move this around. This is basically what they call a mono diet, because this is all you're going to be eating for 5 days. So I recommend a minimum of 5 days to start. It is a lot, I'm not going to lie. But 5 days, you will feel the benefits of eating this mono diet and eating the right foods and spices for you. And it's a really great way to bring in the spring. So the reason that a cleanse is good post-winter is because in Ayurveda, we follow nature. We follow whatever nature is doing. And in the wintertime, it gets cold and frozen, and everything is just solid. As the sun starts to get closer and we start to warm up, everything starts to melt and it just starts to drain. So this is the perfect opportunity to remove excess mucus and toxins from the body. I say mucus because as a kapha, that's what we produce, and that's what we're always balancing. We're always making sure that we are not, having an aggravation of mucus. So that's why I say that personally. And every dosha is different, And if you haven't done a dosha consultation, let me know, DM me, and we can do like an email thing where we go, I give you some information, and then you can find out what your dosha is. But once you know your dosha, it really is about just experimenting and trying and using food to really nourish you. I don't know if anybody got a chance to watch my little video about plants. Did anybody get to see the thing about the plants? You know how everyone's like, we're plants, we're just like plants, we just need sunlight and water. And I think that's so beautiful. I really, really do, because that's really true. But I think a lot of people forget that really good food and plants and stuff use really good fertilizer. And fertilizer is shit. So they use shit and sunlight and water and convert it into beautiful, beautiful offerings for others. Yeah, so that's kind of like what we're doing. We need to be able to get as much light within our own body as well. And Ayurveda speaks of this in the form of what they call gunas, and it's your mental state of mind. And everything, again, that exists in matter has these three levels of vibration, I'll call them. Three levels of vibration, because they apply to everything, not just your mental state, but they also apply to foods, because foods can be different vibrations. And so the first vibration there is sattvic or sattva, and it is the highest, the lightest, the purest of light vibrations. Like, it is just the most beautiful, clear, peaceful, loving vibration you can imagine. And the second one is in the middle between really, really great, high vibration and really low vibration. And it's called rajasic. And then the third level is the very bottom, and that is called tamasic. And that's just the lowest of low. Like, if you know what a lotus flower is, you know how they talk about the mud? Well, the mud is the tamasic, the middle part is the rajasic, and the lotus flower is the sattvic part of that flower. And so that's kind of like what we're striving for, is to maintain a high vibration of light coming into our body in the form of matter through the plants and food that we consume. And then in turn, what happens is that food nourishes. I wasn't going to get this detailed about it, but you have to. There's no other way. So, and let me know if you have any questions, because I know that this is, it is a lot, but it really isn't. Once you start to speak about it and hear about it, it's just a formula, and anybody can follow this formula. And so when we're eating, all of the food that we eat and all of the drinks that we consume and everything that we take in is filtered and goes into a specific tissue, or what we call in Ayurveda is dhatu. And there's 7 dhatus, there's 7 tissues that are nourished. And depending on what kind of food it is, that's the tissues that get nourished, but also they're actually in order. Like, the first tissue is plasma, blood. The last one is the reproductive organs, the very last one. And the very last one is where we hold our beautiful ojas, our life energy, our fire, our ojas, which becomes depleted when we do things that are very tamasic or low vibration. So when you do things that are high vibration and you nourish yourself with high vibration, you are feeding that pranic force, that life force, that ojas. And so as you're eating, it's also good to have awareness that you are consuming to nourish these tissues, these 7 tissues. Because if you're nourishing the 7 tissues and you're not getting enough nourishment, your reproductive organs or the tissues at the very end that get nourished are not going to receive any nourishment at all. They're depleted because you're not eating enough nourishment for it to sustain 1 through 7 levels of eating. Interesting, right? There's 7 dhatus, there's 7 chakras. Super, super interesting. And then again, there's also pertaining to, like every dosha has the specific organs in their body as well. Like the chest areas pertains to the kapha, the water, and the lungs. And so the way that yoga works, because yoga is actually a prescription of Ayurveda. You go to a doctor, an Ayurvedic practitioner. He's going to give you gems to wear. He's going to give you spices to use, a little spice mix here. Put this on all your food. He's going to give you mantra to chant. He's going to give you pranayama breath to use. And he's going to give you asanas. Because what asanas do is that they pacify the dosha. That's why that's one of the reasons that yoga works. Because all of us are pretty much out of balance in some way, shape, or form. All of us. Because it's a daily thing. And we have stress and life, and not everyone can sit and meditate for hours and rebalance and redo. You do the best that you can. That's why this is a preventative medicine, because you do it every day and you do these practices so that when it is a stressful time. Oh, hold on. No, Chico. No. Oh, he just got a brand new flip-flop. I was had to get no, not the new ones. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so you do these practices every day, and then when stressful and challenging times occur, you are better able to handle these moments and you don't fall ill from the stress. And it works. It works. And so that's why nourishment is so important, and it's important to know what you're eating and what tissues or what dhatus are being nourished, because then you really have the capacity to really heal what's going on with you in the physical form. When I do a full consultation, not just a dosha one, I do a full-blown consultation. We go over waste products. We review what's being, the waste that's coming, what's being released by the body. We also review the tissues, because specific tissues do specific things in the body. And so we go through these questions to see what is occurring in your body. Your body is always talking to you all the time. Like, for example, this is something that I learned in Ayurveda, and it was very shocking to me because I was such a, into beauty person. But your hair, right? Your hair and your nails, those are a waste product of the muscle system, of the musculatory system. Waste product of the musculatory system. And that translated in my brain to, I have shit on my head. And I used to pay hundreds of dollars to get this fixed and cut and beautified. And it's nothing more than waste. I was like, whoa. I was like, whoa. This is, wow. If more people knew this, what would they do with it? Like, how attached would you be to it if you knew what it was? And then how would you look at it at that point? Would you really because I was the kind of person that I would spend literally, a good chunk of money on shampoos, conditioners, and this and that and all of that. And not that that's bad at all, because I still do. Like, I love having, good shampoo and stuff. But I definitely didn't believe that that's what was going to make my hair lush anymore. It just completely wiped that out. And I understood that I could take care of my own hair if I just ate the proper food that would nourish my muscle, the musculatory system. right? Then it becomes that kind of healing where you're actually healing to heal your tissues, not just to heal your body, like body, but your insides, on a cellular level, not for physical at all. Yeah. Yes, Tuesday we were. Yeah, I was. Yeah, when I started working at that yoga studio, um, I was very much. I mean, I graduated from the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising here in downtown Los Angeles. And yeah. And so I was very much in the physical body. I was very much in my root chakra that I wanted to, be this. And so I was very glam. And it took me a long time to process out of that to come into like full blown, acceptance just of this beautiful body and miraculous body that we exist in, that each of us has. And it's a beautiful vehicle. And the beauty of Ayurveda is that exactly you can then begin to diagnose yourself. Once you know what the tissues are doing and you know how to read your waste products and you know what each tissue does and the symptoms of it being out or deficient, then you can take the proper steps to renew and revitalize those tissues. Because at that point you know what's going on. And then that's deeper than just what you're eating. But it starts with what you're eating. And that's why it's important that, like, this is just an example. I always use cars. So, like, if I offend anybody, I'm really sorry. But I always use cars. But I always say this, like, imagine that one day you go in and use one kind of oil. And then the next day you use another kind of oil. And the next cleanse you use, or gas, or my dad was a stickler for using the same kind of gas because he said that that's how it worked. And I used to be like, I don't know how that makes sense. But that's exactly how our body works. Our body works best when we eat the same thing because it doesn't have to think about digesting what it already knows. We eat probably 3 times a day or 3 times a day, and every single meal is different. Do you know how much energy it takes for your body to process that and to get to know what it like? Oh, this is brand new. Okay, this is something I've never had. Okay, la 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 la. As opposed to, oh, I know exactly what this is. Boom, digested, sent to the right tissues. I already know what it's gonna do. Da 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 da. It leaves so much room for your entire body to heal other parts and not have to be digesting all the time. We need to understand that digestion puts a heavy strain on our body. It just does naturally. Even if you are a pitta and you have the best digestion, it's still using your energy to digest when you could be doing something else, like healing other parts of the body. And still be consuming food every day, but just one specific meal type, like, And in this cleanse, you're going to be able to add veggies to it. Like I said, you could change the spices up because you can experiment. Like, I like this flavor, I don't like this flavor, because you'll get a list of spices that are specific for your body type. And so that's what you'll want to do, is you'll want to start to experiment with the spices that are good for you and find one that you absolutely love. A blend. Or you could even start to just be like, I only like, or you could just start, well, I'm going to add black pepper, or I'm going to add, some cilantro this time, or I'm going to add some fennel, or cumin, or whatever it is. Some people don't like, my mom hates cumin. Like, she doesn't eat cumin at all. Okay, no problem. I'll do coriander, or whatever, cardamom. I love cardamom. I always make my Kichari. I'm a kapha. I have predominant kapha in my body. And I love... Oh my God, he got my shoe again. What are you doing, Chico? This crazy dog went behind my back. He's all, what are you doing taking my shoe? I always put cinnamon and cardamom in my Kichari. I absolutely love those, and when I make Kichari for others and they are Kapha predominant body type, I always do that as well. Because it just makes it so savory and delicious, and it hits the palate in ways that are unexpected when you're eating Kichari or rice and, lentils. So, yeah, yay. Any questions? So far so good? Okay. So the cleanse is going to be basically that. So the way that the cleanse looks is in the morning, depending on what your body type is, you'll have either, like a Vata will have oatmeal with Vata specific fruits. Read our waste products, please explain. I missed the recipe. Oh, I'm gonna. This is not the official thing. I'm gonna send a little booklet, like a cleanse booklet. Everybody will get a cleanse booklet with all of the recipe, with your dosha specific details. Waste product. Um, okay, so the waste. I have to go back and look because I don't recall. Um, but I have a quiz that you take. So I'll send it over to you, okay, Tuesday, so that you can take it. And then I'll just send you the whole packet, the tissue and the whole, the datu, so you can tell what the datus are doing, like a full assessment or whatever. I'll send it over to you. Because it really helps. It really does. Because the healing, you're ever changing, so you need to know what's going on with your body right here, right now. And the then you can use different modalities, but in the same way. Like, for example, some people like to say, Chico, stop. What did you find? Urgh. Some people like to say that, stop, niño. Sorry, y'all. Okay. Some people like to say that Ayurveda is too hard, but really it's all about learning the qualities. Once you know what qualities are predominant in your body, like for me, I'm naturally heavy. Just naturally, because water and earth, they're heavy. You pick them up, they're heavy. It's not like air. You can't even, what is air? You can feel it, but you can't grab it, right? Like you could never, I can't say like, hey, get me a ball of air, you know? It's not like the Lorax, like, hey, you want a glass of air? Not yet, anyway. So because I'm heavy, I know that naturally I need to seek things that are light. Just light. If it's food, activities, emotions, that's what's going to benefit me. Like I know that I need to be seeking those things, right, for myself. But and they're pretty much that's going to be consistent for me for the rest of my life because I'm never going to stop being this element, in this life, you know. Um, so the yeah, I got off track. Sorry. Yes, but I will send that for you. And Nova, we can do it too, in person, and that way we can go through that as well. And then, so the cleanse is going to start because spring equinox is on March 19th. And like I said, cleanses should be in conjunction with we should be following nature. So spring is here. It's officially the time that we can actually start releasing, right? So we're planning to start on March 15th and then do 5 consecutive days. Or you can start on March 22nd and go 5 consecutive days. Or you can start March 29th and go through April 2nd. So there's 3 different weeks of cleanse time that's going to happen. And of course, I'll be guiding you through this. I'm going to make a video on how to make the Kichari. I'll make there's so many things that can be done with this, but I don't want to overwhelm anyone, so I'm kind of keeping it really basic. But I will make the Kichari video. You're gonna get a booklet, Kichari cleanse booklet on what to do, like in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, throughout your day, and what to do. He's got a box now. It's also going to give you what to do not only during the day, but before Kichari cleanse and then post Kichari cleanse. And yeah, it's up to you if you want to do 5 or 7 days. Some people even do 14 days. You know, it's completely up to you how you feel. Again, people that are Vata types or predominant air and, oh my God, hold on. Chico, let me see that ball. No, come on, where's your ball? Where did we put your ball? That one is not the ball. I know. I'm almost done. Okay. So let's play. Okay, so let me start again. The cleanse can be 5 or 7 days. It's up to you. Some people do even up to 14 days, 28 days, and that's probably the max, a month. It just depends on the level of ama or toxins that your body has and how out of alignment or out of place those doshas are. You can even do as little as 3 days, but 3 days is only beneficial when you've done it before. So I always recommend to start with 5 days. Vata will want to do probably 5 days. You can try, if you really need to, start with 3. Pitta, I say do 3 days to start. And then if you feel like you can do the 5, then continue. Otherwise, I think, can feel the benefit from 3 days because your digestion is so good. But again, this is a one-on-one basis, and so will be working with every single one who signs up with the cleanse to kind of help you figure out what's specific for you. Because the beauty of Ayurveda is that everybody is different. There is no such thing as 2 people having the same journey or healing prescription. Nobody has the same because we're all the same. And so, so in the morning for breakfast, you're going to wake up and you'll have either some fruit or toast or oatmeal. Kaphas, you're just going to do toast and tea. Pittas can do toast, tea, and eggs if you eat eggs, or oatmeal if you eat oatmeal. Vatas also can have fruit, oatmeal, and a grounding of food in the morning. But kaphas are probably the only ones. We just need tea, really, and fresh fruit if we desire. Try to avoid cold, anything cold, because your digestive system is like a campfire. It's like a raging campfire. Just imagine a beautiful, just illuminous campfire, just raging and just beautiful, giving off this warmth and just amazing. And then you take a cup of cold, icy water and then you pour it on the campfire. It diminishes the power of the fire. And that's what happens every time we consume something cold. Every time. Even when it's balanced with spices, because you can take cold and add spices to it to balance it, but the cold is still there. So, just something to be conscious of. And meals for lunch and dinner will be Kichari. So depending on your body type and your element that's predominant, you can eat up to a cup of Kichari. Honestly, I don't ever really measure it because I feel like you should not. This meal is so hearty and nutritious that number one, it's hard to overeat on it because it is filling. Number two, if you even did that, all it would happen is that you would just not be hungry as much the next meal. Um, you just don't want to do that. And number three, that gives you a good indication of where you're at in your relationship with food if you are overeating. I was a big time overeater. And I was an emotional eater as well. Um, so, it made me realize that. Yes, if you work out, you want to eat more, absolutely. Again, if you want, you are more than welcome. I'm going to give everyone a list of veggies that are good for their body type. You're welcome to, I always say roast, because roasting vegetables brings out their natural sweetness, and that helps pacify the sweetness that we crave in the, here, where we have everything we have is sweet. So it's just a natural desire to have sweet in our meals. And roasting vegetables with just some like coconut oil, salt, and pepper, or just coconut oil, or if you don't even do coconut oil, just do it and you can steam it. You can steam your veggies if you want. If you don't want to go through the whole roasting process, just steam them. But I like to eat vegetables with my Kichari. It is something that I like, and it is something that I recommend. But it is optional. Definitely don't have to do it. And yes, you want to eat more if, you want to eat. So the way that in Ayurveda, the way that they recommend is that you want to eat just until you're no longer hungry. It's not even about getting full. No sweets and no chocolate. No, none of that. No, no, no. You're going to be drinking herbal tea. It's an herbal detox tea. I'm going to just make a little recipe or you can just go and get like a tea that's like a detox tea as well. Or I can give you, I also will give you options of like herbs to use for like, for detoxing. But yeah, we're not going to have any of that. No coffee? No. It's up to you. Listen, this is your cleanse. Like, I'm guiding it, but this is your cleanse. If you feel you need to get off of coffee, then yeah, don't drink it. But if you want coffee, then drink it. If you need to have a little bit of sugar, have a little bit of chocolate, just, have some cacao nibs. That's cool. That's nutritious. You know, that's, I'm totally for that. Absolutely. Yeah. So, but you want to try to be as clear as possible because, again, what we're focusing on is giving the digestive system a break. That's all we just want to give it a break because you'll see that once you give it a break, it's gonna, your body, your brain, your gut brain, your heart brain will be able to focus on other things that isn't just digesting the food kind of thing or digesting, whatever. And it's a reset. It allows for clarity also because it's very sattvic. It's very clear. It's very light. It's very light, high vibration food, you know. And then on top of that, I'm definitely going to encourage you to chant and Reiki your food because that's what I always do to it. It's amazing. And then I love it. It's like you have a plate of light and you're just eating light. It's magical. It's like a unicorn. Magical. All right. So I will be asking for a donation. Yeah, coffee. Me too, sis. My coffee addiction has gotten out of control. And like, I go to get coffee. Like, I don't even, like, it's rare that I make it here at home. Like, I go get coffee. So I literally, like, get up in the morning and go get coffee. I can't, I don't even want to be doing it at my house. Like, So for me, that's why I'm like, no coffee. But if you feel that it's up to you. But I personally, I feel like I need a break from coffee, and I think five days is um 5 days is agreeable for me to not drink coffee. Let's put it that way. And I don't know if you are familiar. I also am an Organic India ambassador. So if you need any kind of tea as well, I have a few. I can send you some tea and tea bags as well, to kind of help you along with the cleanse. Just let me know. Donation is $20 to join. And then you get, of course, like the little mini e-booklet, the assessment, um, the kapha details. I have all this written down. I also am going to include a dinacharya chart, which is a daily self-care list that Ayurveda recommends we do. It's a certain set of practices that we do every single morning, and we do them every single day, and that's what helps us during challenging times to prevent the stress, because we have these practices that we have been doing that kick in the moment our outside world becomes chaotic. Okay, so I also, if anybody is interested, I can send because I'm going to give you a shopping list, but if you don't want to go shopping and you just want to get the supplies from me, I have a Kichari kit that's going to be $40. So it's a $40 Kichari kit that comes with the rice, the beans, the spice mix, the ghee, and that will be shipped to you, directly to you. And then, yeah, and it'll come with the then you add the $20 for the donation, and then you get the booklet and the detailed breakdown. And then I also have another option if you're in Los Angeles and would like. I mean, I also travel outside of Los Angeles and Palm Springs and Big Bear and San Diego and Ventura and all the other places. I also do 10 Kichari meals, which would be for the 5 days, as pre-made meals. So you would have 5 days of Kichari, which is 10 pre-made packaged meals for your cleanse, and that's $100. Um, so yeah, so those are the things that. So that's kind of like the details. I do not have any tea with chicory in it. Chicory is not that popular in India. That's more like definitely more like Africa. I mean, not Africa. Like Ethiopia, because I know like in Ethiopia they put chicory in their coffee, which is amazing. I love that stuff. I love chicory, but it's not used a lot in India or in their teas. Not too much. But you could make a tea out of anything. I mean, that's, if it's an herb or a spice, all you have to do is just boil some water, and then once it's boiling, you just turn it off. You toss in the herbs and you cover it and let it steep for an hour, and you have some tea. And you just strain it and drink. And I also have a tea that I think I said we have a tea that I'm working on. It's not gonna, I mean, that you drink during the cleanse. Usually people recommend cumin, coriander, fennel tea. And it's you just put this, just like how I said with the chicory or any herb. It's the same thing with the spices. You could take the spices and put them in there for an hour, steep, and then strain and drink. So yeah, all this stuff I have written up. I've been really working on putting together, like, it's actually a book accidentally. It's a cleansing book. So, um, yeah, chicories. I love chicory. Yeah. Yes, you can have chai and you can make your own chai if you're interested in learning how to make your own chai blend. Let me know. I can give you a recipe for how to make chai. Um, really good chai, like homemade chai, like from India chai, kind of. So yeah, I know it's an accidental book. I know. I need to get it on Amazon and just like, just start making these little 20-page books. I heard 25-page books were popular. People liked short books because everyone's attention span is short, which is a vata aggravation, y'all, just so you know. um, so, yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. Thank you for joining me. I hope to be able to do more of these. Um, and I actually am putting together something called an Ayurveda experience. It's going to be a pop up eating experience. I don't know when it's going to happen though, because I'm still waiting on the universe, kind of, to put everything into alignment. But until then, we're going to start with this cleanse. And then, if you're interested, we could continue from there post cleanse, like how to get, you'll have a how to get back into eating after the cleanse, but how to maintain it, how to go grocery shopping, like how to eat some of the things about Ayurveda that I love. It's like when I started learning Ayurveda, I had to change a lot of things, including how I saw food. And I no longer see food um, as enjoyable. No, I love food. I absolutely love food, and I enjoy food, and I never deny myself any kind of food, um, because I'm literally, this life is all about eating for me. And serving, eating and serving. That's literally like what I'm doing. But I forgot what I was saying because I was I'm like, what? Um, Dang it. Anyway, I hate when that happens. But oh yes, now I eat when I eat or when I go to pick something or when I think like, is this going to nourish me and my body and boost my immune system, or is this going to feed the dis-ease and disorder, or my dosha is going to be like knocking at somebody else's door because of the food I'm eating. So, yeah. And I think like because I love to eat, I think that's why Ayurveda was like the perfect healing modality for me, because it taught me what to eat and how to use it for my benefit, how to use it to help me not only heal but also like thrive. Because if you don't feel good, you know, you can't do anything. And science is proving that our gut makes our mood. So everything that you're eating that's going through your gut is creating your moods. You have to be aware of that and consciously choose to eat foods that are really going to uplift you. I mean, yeah, it's super easy to get that fast food. And of course, I've done it. Hello, I'm a mom of three. Hello, of course. But don't do it. Like, it's not every day that it's done. Like, don't do it every day. It should be treated like a treat. Like, I remember growing up, when I was growing up, I remember going out to eat was like a treat. It was a luxury. It was something you did like on the weekend with like your parents or your friends. Like, it was something you did like as, it wasn't something that was normal. Like, it was not like how it is now. And so I think that helped me a lot, because I think it would have been, most of my imbalances occurred when I started eating out. I went vegetarian in 2004 because I felt I was sick already, and I was only 28, 27, 28, I think. And I was feeling sick at the time because of all the eating out I was doing. And I was like, this is no. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to stop eating meat. And I'm just going to eat like whatever, anything that's not meat and fish and chicken and whatever. And I never looked back because technically as a kapha, we're meant to be vegetarian because we need to only be eating light stuff because we're naturally heavy. We're made of matter. We don't need any more matter. We're already made of it. And Ayurveda says like increases like. So if you're made of matter and you eat matter, you're going to be more matter. That's just the way it is. So anybody who's undernourished, they should eat a lot of matter because that's what they need, more matter, So anyway, I just went totally off topic and got way too into it, which I love Ayurveda. It helped me. It healed me. It saved my life. I used to be an addict. I used to be, I say I used to have depression, but I still, I think everyone goes through it. Like everyone has their slope, down slope, up slope kind of thing. But I was never able to stop the downward spiral is what I like to say. And so Ayurveda and food and knowing what to pick and eat and like avoiding a lot of stuff, it is a discipline. It's not for the weak. It's a discipline, but if you are determined to feel good and feel good about yourself and love yourself, then this is the highest healing modality you could probably practice because it's pertaining to what you're putting inside your body. It's what you're eating. It's a choice. You are making a choice. Every single time that you eat, you're saying, I will fortify my immunity. Or I don't care and I'm just going to wow out and, And of course, we all have our cheat times. I'm not saying not. I like to think, I like to say 80-20, 80% of the time you're good, 20% of the time you splurge. I think you need to. You have to stay close to humanity, and you have to kind of allow a certain kind of flexibility in that, but it's more about what you do the most of. So if you look at, take a day, it's like, what do you do in a day? That's what you do the most of. Because in a year, you can, take a look at your year and what you do in that year. What you do most of, that's what you are. So at the end of your life, you're going to look back and whatever you did the most of, that's what you are. And so if you are proactive about self-care and self-healing and really experiencing this life as you should in your full power, embodying all the elemental matter and power that you are, then you would think of yourself like, of course, I need to be in my highest element right now, and then this is going to fortify me to be to come with it. Because we didn't come here to just lay low and no, 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 no. We came here to revolutionize the way this world exists. That's why we're here. Let's not mince words. This world needs a revolutionary shift, and we're here to help create it and continue it and make it bigger and bigger so that everyone else joins in with us. So with that, I think it says I have 21 minutes remaining on live. I didn't know there was a time limit, but that's cool. I thank you for being here. DM me with questions and your email so I can send you stuff out. Okay? All right. Namaste.